Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Sekali lagi bersama saya Roma Melvin dalam episod kedua Podbikeweek 2023, powered by Desaru International Bike Week. So, what we have today is Michael Chen. Thank you so much for coming. A big round of applause.
Hello.
Thank you
for having me.
All right. So, how do I address you? Michael?
Michael's fine.
Michael. All right. So, Michael, care to share with us who is Michael Chen? But before you do that, let me just do a bit of intro on who Michael Chen is. He is an actor, producer, a kickboxer, a martial artist, and also a stunt artist. So, my first question to you, Michael.
Yes.
How do you juggle all these in one day? Or I mean, how is this possible, man?
No lah. You have a day job, right? So throughout my life, I've always had different day jobs. My whole cycle, I think, began when I graduated. I studied law, but I knew I never wanted to be a lawyer. So even while I was studying, I was already working in events. My first love was acting. I fell in love with acting. I used to go to watch theatre because my teacher in school, Miss Sukanya Venugopal, I still call her Miss Sukanya Venugopal because she was my teacher, but she's very well known in the theatre circles. And she kind of gave me the opportunity to try theatre, and I fell in love with acting. So I went to actor studio, I did workshops in Dataran Merdeka Actor Studio, eventually I went to KLPAC, done a lot of plays and musicals, strangely. People think I can sing. So I knew that the creative industry was where I wanted to be. So the moment I graduated, I worked in production first. I wanted to learn what goes on behind the camera, like these guys here, right? As much as I wanted to be in front of camera juga, right? So I went into production. I learned what it was like. Thought, oh man, this is too much for me. I left after 11 months. Went into marketing, went to advertising, and eventually never gave up on the idea of learning how to act. So I just continuously acted and did a lot of theatre. Eventually got some roles in TV and film, but nothing you guys probably watched before. The biggest thing I did was for Astro when they produced Tombiro Penunggu Rimba, where I played the bad guy, getting beaten up by Zul Arifin. Yay! I got to beat him up a bit juga, right? But basically, acting has been my main staple. But I knew I couldn't make a living as an actor full time. I'm a Chinese guy, cannot speak Chinese very well, and banana, correct. And I did. So I realized I needed to find like other things to do. So, I did events, I did marketing, I did advertising, I've even tried to set up my own business. I became a kickboxing instructor. That's why I learned my love for martial artists as well, martial arts. And I started doing that when I was in college. So it was good side income. I inherited my father's old car. I needed money to pay for petrol. So that's basically what I did. And I never gave up on that as well. So long story short, when I learned all that, I realized my calling was to be a producer also. So and I realized producing was where I could make a real living. And when I decided I wanted to marry my girlfriend of 8 years. I proposed to her, and our 8th year together. I was like, I already started, becoming a professional producer so that I can earn a living, to take care of somebody else's daughter. Right?
So your main income or your main career is being a producer. And on the side
I act.
I
teach kickboxing.
All right.
Yeah.
So well, I wasn't really paying attention just now. I'm very intrigued with this fact of you being a stunt artist.
Okay.
I mean, I can't just take my eyes off of everything except for like a stunt artist, man. I'm interviewing a stunt artist. When did you start? And how is it like being a stunt artist?
No. I mean, if you're into acting and you want to do TV and film as well, and you do martial artists, chances are you're a fan of Jackie Chan.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So that's where I came from, and when
What
I
is
started.
the art of doing stunts for the camera? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
No, I mean, being a stuntman, I first of all, to all real stuntmen out there, props to you. You're the best, right? Without you, no action film can be made. But the thing is, for me, as an actor, who love martial arts, it was very easy for me to then decide, hey, I want to go learn how to do my own stunts.
The moves are all the same as how you practice martial arts.
Yeah.
But
as authentic as possible.
are they the same when? Because I've seen like snippets. I'm not really into. I haven't really got myself in depth of learning about this. But does it have any? Is there any difference when like punching people? How to make it real? How to make it like you really punching that person?
Okay.
Is there any?
Wow, this is a very difficult question, right? Like, if a real stunt person can sit down here and give you a full 3-hour dissertation, like essay.
Now the basic
about-
ones. something enough for me to like impress my girlfriend, impress the chicks out there.
Basically, there are many ways to skin a cat, right? So when it comes to making something look real on camera, like taking a punch, taking a hit, it's almost like a choreographed dance. You know, I think now Michelle Yeoh recently won the Oscar. She actually was quoted by saying that her entry point into martial arts and action films was because it looked like a well choreographed dance, which she could do because she was a trained dancer, you know, before she went to Hong Kong and tried her play, right? So that's what it is. So it's all about timing. It's all about choreographing something and the angle of the camera. All right, and then the most important underlying factor is motivation. So if you have two people hitting each other on screen and moving perfectly in sync, right, it will still look like fake if there is no motivation behind the movement. So, you know, I could be swinging at you and I'm supposed to be angry, but my muka is like this, right? And my speed and motivation of the movement is just like that.
Let's say,
Right.
okay, let's say we're using that camera.
Okay, the phone.
Right, the
Okay,
phone.
all right.
So if you were to like have a throw at me,
Yeah.
how would you do it? Like, can you show me?
So basically, from this angle,
Let's see.
I can't really see what's on screen, but
Okay.
more or less, I want to go here, right?
Okay.
As close as possible.
Alright.
They have this term, they say bridging.
Okay.
You don't want to look like you're bridging. Like I'm making a bridge over you. So
Okay.
clearly, I'm not hitting you like this,
Alright,
right?
alright.
But if I go from here, it will look like I'm not hitting you, right? Like
All
this.
right. So what should I do then?
And then you have to time it as such that when I'm around here, you just move, right? Move.
Okay.
Okay, so then we just time it, right?
So
and then
this is something that you would practice with your
the partner lah, the scene partner lah, yeah. So you practice, and then the idea is that to make it look as real as possible. So then there has to be ultimately. So what we've just done is the first part, which is the choreography.
Okay.
All right. The second part is then the timing. You got to time it, and the final part is motivation. I gotta act like I really want to hit you, and you gotta act like you got hit lah.
Can we do one? Do you mind if we do one?
Yeah, sure.
So I'll try my best to act as I can. Okay, so what do? So let's say I'm gonna hit you with this Iron Man playing. Alright, so
Okay.
so I'm gonna hit you like this.
Alright, so
Alright,
now
so-
you're coming from this way, right?
Oh,
So this camera-
what do you want me to do?
Yeah, no, that
Okay,
works,
okay,
right? Because
okay.
then they can't see the impact
Okay, I could
point.
try.
Yeah. So you want to be close as possible, but you're on a completely different plane of movement, right? So there's no way you can hit me no matter how fast you move.
It goes like okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now then, you know, you gotta look like you want to hit me, and then I gotta like sell like you really hit me lah.
Okay. So I have no experience in martial arts, no experience in fighting, not a fighter, not a lover as well. I'm trying to be a host here. That's the only experience I have. So with Michael Chen.
Do slow first.
Okay,
do one
I'll do
like
slow.
20% movement, 20% speed. Yeah.
You mother. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Then
so
do
you gotta
slightly
block?
faster
Okay.
now. I'm not gonna block. I'm gonna get hit. Yeah. And then last.
it's okay.
Okay, so closer plane. Well, camera can't see, I think, so you should
Are
be
you
safe.
getting the angle right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
So-
can't see even if you go further away. Yeah, alright. You can try one more time and then this one for real one, like, right?
All right.
Oh, what you hit me for?
That's acting. That's acting. That's acting. That's acting. That's acting. Wow. Not for me, lah. Not for me. I can't. All right. So, coming back to this podcast, Podbikeweek.
Okay.
Very interesting, man. This is my first time interviewing a stunt artist, a stuntman. How do you keep fit?
Well, I teach kickboxing.
You look very
I'm okay.
very
lah.
fit.
I'm
very
okay.
fit.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
alright.
about the same. We're the same age practically. 83, right?
Yeah, 82.
82. He's 1 year older than me. And I think I look way older than him, right?
No man. The white hair, same lah. Same.
At least you still have hair. I don't have much on my head. How much do you train? You're not into. Are you like? Do you go to the gym or you get your fitness from teaching?
No, if you're a trainer, if you're an instructor, it's never enough to get exercise from teaching people. It's because the focus is on the client, not so it's not going to be enough. I got a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old baby now.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay, congratulations.
So that means, thank you.
Good.
But that also means I have no time to train. So basically what I do is I still teach part-time. I still have certain clients that have stuck with me throughout the years. So when I train them, I squeeze in 1 hour there, 20 minutes here. So if I got 5 classes that week, I work out 5 times lah.
Do you want to do a bit of promo? Where do you teach and stuff like that? I mean, please, come on. Where can they find you?
This camera?
I mean,
Any camera?
where's the best
Yeah,
one?
this camera. Okay. I teach at TNT Kickboxing in Hatamas, the OG kickboxing school since 1999. I do personal training there, but they're also good for classes. And I teach group classes in RFC Gym in KL Eco City.
How can they find you? How can they sign up?
Make it easy lah. It's if you don't go to these gyms, you can just look out for me, Elias Michael CSM on Instagram, and I'll hook you up.
All right. So back to this International Bike Week.
Okay.
So basically, we need to talk about bikes now. Otherwise, my sponsors are gonna they're gonna kick me out of this podcast. All right. So Desaru International Bike Week. Are you aware of this event that's going to happen in Desaru?
Well, I just heard about it, to be honest. Yeah.
Right before we start
Yes.
this Bike Week. All right. So I'll share with you a bit of info on what this is. It is called Desaru International Bike Week, 2nd edition.
Okay.
The first edition was held before COVID, 2019. So basically, it is an event by the beach of the South Coast. In particular, there will be it's a bikers event, but not just for bikers. Yeah, there will be a lot of other sports. Volleyball by the beach, beach soccer. They're gonna have like F&B and all that. It's gonna be on from the 22nd to 24th of September. So speaking of that, how is your bike doing? What bike is waiting for you down there? What are you riding? Tell me about your bike.
Oh, okay. I ride a 1996 Kawasaki Vulcan EN 500. It's I guess considered a vintage bike now, being from the 90s. It's my first bike and has been my only bike so far.
What made you fall in love with that bike?
I kind of got into the whole custom biking culture because my friends got into it first, and I kena racun lah basically. And my friends started this brand called Motherfucker, right? And I support my friend, and I just always looked at his bikes and his friends' bikes, and it became definitely an aesthetic thing. Like, oh, I like the idea of riding a bike. But I also was brought up by typical Chinese Asian parents who's like, no, it's dangerous. And it was a difficult time. It took me like 2-3 years to kind of get over the fear of riding. And by the time I got over it, and my friend suggested a bike for me, it actually became a very practical decision. Like, I just got married. I was trying to save money. I was trying to figure out how to make sure that every week I don't spend all my money on petrol and car maintenance and parking and toll. And honestly, the bike saves you so much money, right? And on top of that, you never get caught in traffic, right? Because even if high traffic, you can kind of ride through, carefully lah.
Well, okay.
Only for the roadblock.
Well, yeah, I mean, we get, I do understand all that, but on a deeper level,
Yeah.
as a biker,
Yeah.
what can you share with us that the non-bikers are missing?
It's very hard to explain to a non-biker. Like, the one thing I realized since I became a daily rider, right?
I'm not a biker, bro. Honestly, I'm not a biker. The only bike I had was a Vespa back in my teens. I mean, that was the only bike I had. Saw my friends riding them. I thought it was cool. I thought it was
Yeah, it's fun.
Then
It's
I
part
got
of
one
fun.
for 300 ringgit. Then it only lasted. It was with me for the next 6 months, and then I sold it off. I said, "This is not for me." But now, since I'm involved in this our international bike week, I would like to revisit. So I want to know, what is it about you bikers out there? Why? I mean, you get exposed to the rain, I mean, I get all of that, but on an emotional level, what does it bring to the table? Why do you guys just like riding so much?
I think when somebody once told me when I was choosing a bike, what type of bike, there's so many bikes: scramblers, cruisers, sports bikes. And there's all these practical things to talk about: the riding position, the petrol consumption, blah blah blah. But one thing everyone always said, like, you got to find your Jiwa bike. Which one is your, because it just doesn't feel right. Like, you could be a sports bike, on a sports bike, and it just doesn't feel right, even though it ticks all the boxes. It goes fast, it looks good, right? But you sit on it and like somehow doesn't feel right. And you sit on a cruiser like, oh,
This is more you.
this feels me, right? So I think it's like having a spirit animal lah. I guess it's the closest thing I can explain to people who are non-bikers. Sometimes you see all kinds of animals in the world, like, the cat is cute, the dog is loyal, but somehow you like the kangaroo. I don't know why, right?
So that kind of leads to stereotyping bikers, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the ones who ride sports bikes, they have a sort of like a different character to the ones who
Ride cruisers, yeah, or cafe races.
So how do you turn that? What are the personality? What is the personality of a cruiser?
Okay.
Like you. You're a cruiser.
Yeah, I ride a cruiser.
Let's stereotype cruisers, and let's stereotype the ones that ride sports bikes and all that.
I cannot speak for everyone because
on a personal
on a personal level. Okay.
Yeah.
So on a personal, from my own perspective, I realized that as a people on cruises tend to be more chill lah. It's not about speed. It's not about how fast you can get to some place. So they tend to be more chill. But within that cruiser category, got a lot of cabang also lah, You got the Harley guys who ride the big, heavy riders, right? The bigger versions of the cruisers, I would say. They tend to be the older because they want to take it easy. Those cruiser bikes are lower, so it's easier to balance on it, and there's a lot of power. So if you're an old uncle, right, which we are getting to, right, the cruiser bikes are very comfortable, lah, you know. But there's also within every category, not just cruisers, but there's the custom guys, right? And I think custom bikers are a different breed altogether, because custom bikers look at a existing bike and they decide to change the handlebar, change the colors, change the seating, add a different accessory. Sometimes accessories you can buy off the shelf, sometimes you have to custom make it yourself with custom bikers.
A lot of time in the workshop.
Correct, yeah. But once you customize it, then the bike really is an extension of you lah, right? This like what I like you may look at my bike and it's like, that looks good, but I don't like that, or I don't like this, right? But when I customize it, it's customized to my needs, to my aesthetic, to my feel, right? Also budget. But the idea is then the vehicle, the custom experience becomes a whole different thing, you know. And some people do it purely for aesthetic. Right, some people it's like you cannot ride that bike, but it looks so cool. Right, some people they ride their cruiser, their legs are like this, right? And I don't get it personally, but it looks cool. So I think that's how
it's basically an interpretation of who you are. You are designing a bike based on your preferences, what you like.
And I like that. I always like originality. I always like
which type of bike. That has the hottest chick, that gets the hottest chick.
Any bike that can put two people on it, you will get. Because some bikers are solo riders. Okay, some bikers customize their bikes to only
from his answer
fit one person.
Now, I think Michael has friends from all walks of. All types of bikes. So I don't think you understand.
Yes. I have many friends who have all types of bikes.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. Okay, so my next question. I have a list of things here that I need to ask you.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me check. Covered. Basically covered everything already here. So the last one is my favorite section or session. We're gonna do a bit of quiz. Arina!
Yes, Bennett.
Okay.
Tak boleh.
What?
Ni.
Come. Let the guys see who this girl is. Come here. The camera cannot see you. Come. Sini. Malu pula. Janganlah malu. Alright guys, this is Arina. Can you guys see her? Can we see her? Can we show her? Okay. So Arina, what's going on?
Okay, ni.
Huh.
Yang nak pegang ni jenama motor yang maju kena teka.
Okay.
Bukan. Jenama motor yang maju kena teka roman sebut. So
Okay. So what's going to happen now? I'm going to pass you this.
Faham.
Is it on? Dah on belum?
Dah. So
Dia ni perempuan yang paling bro sekali kat dalam office ni tau. Daripada Arina you.
Kami mancor ni. Okay.
So pakai sekarang ke tak?
Tengok ni.
Okay, pakai.
Okay, so okay.
Ada music?
Is it too loud?
Okay, I tak boleh dengar apa-apa dah.
Okay. Alright, so
bila kita start?
okay, basically he's on his microphones now. He can't listen. Microphone pula. He's on speakers, headphones now. Can't hear a thing. What I say, I'm gonna test him. Michael. Do you know what I'm saying right now? No, he doesn't understand. So I'm gonna mention all the bikes here in this kertas, and I'm gonna make him guess what bike.
So now I'm guessing the brand of the bike. Okay, alright.
Okay, so number one is this one. Is he?
Give me a signal when you're saying the brand. Like now. Okay, alright. Ducati.
Okay. Ducati. So
It looks like chocolate. Chocolate?
It's a triumph.
Triumph.
One down.
Diction, bro, diction. Bigger mouth.
Okay. I'm gonna make it difficult for you. I'm not gonna say like okay.
Harley Davidson?
You got it right. One more time.
Champagne? Yama.
Okay.
Mohesh. Modernus.
Last but not least.
We already said Harley. No, not I don't know. Honda. I heard
Thank you. Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you for thank you for being here with us. I really appreciate
Thank you for having me.
The second episode of Desaru Bike Week. Thank you so much. Please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. This will be shown on our YouTube and very soon on Spotify as well. And also visit our website www.desarubikeweek.com for more updates. And I think there will be a goodie bag that you guys can check out and purchase. Lucky draw with grand prizes. I think they're gonna be a Ford Ranger and lots of like awesome prizes waiting to be drawn on from the 22nd to 24th of September 2023 in Desaru. So thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
so much. Thank you so much.
Bye.
So Desaru Bike Week signing out.